Okay, y'all. So I'm back dating. This is why I think people ghost other people. Okay. So I did some research on friendship for a class. And it was basically the gist of it is that friendships take 200 hours to cultivate a real friendship. Real friendship meaning you are friends with that person for a reason. Meaning, if that's your mommy friend, y'all kids hang out together, and that's really what you hang out with her for. Or your party friend, she's good to go to parties with. She know all the people that are. And I say she because I'm a she, obviously. So it takes 200 hours scientifically to cultivate real friendships. And so that got me to thinking, so how long does it take to cultivate relationships for boyfriend and girlfriend, marriage, da da da? And I'm like, if it takes 200 hours to cultivate friendships with just between the same sex, and mind you, you're only friends, you're usually only friends in one capacity, meaning that's your party friend, or that's your coworker, or that's your you know, that's your whatever friend. And now there's some best friends that you have that's your all in all. But a lot of our friends are for a purpose, meaning they are just for that one thing. But relationships, you're there as your all in all. So, or they're there as your all in all. So they are your confidant. They're your party friend. They're your study buddy. They're your lover, your homie, your friend, your everything. Okay, fine. So if it takes 200 hours to cultivate friendships with just the same sex, then how long does it take to cultivate relationships? It has to be way more, right? And the number differs for everybody, and it has to be way more. So I think people ghost folks for time and because of expectations. Time because who has 200 hours to cultivate somebody, to cultivate a friendship or relationship or more? Who has that kind of time to invest in people anymore? People are trying to, live. They're trying to eat. They're working 2 jobs, 3 jobs, 4 jobs. They are going to school and going to work. They got tons of family to deal with, or, kids and all these different things. So people don't have time anymore to cultivate relationships how they should. And back in the days, you talked on the phone for days, weeks, months, and then you went out, and then you say, I want to be your girlfriend and boyfriend. Nowadays, you don't really have the time. You don't have the time to sit there on the phone all day. You don't have the time to, ask what's your favorite color. You don't have time to do all these different things. So I think the time to cultivate these relationships and so forth is not there anymore. And I think COVID did that. We all in our bubble now. We're all in our hovel. We're just in our own circles, in our own cliques, and we don't want to take the time to do anything else. Next, I think it's expectations. I think the pandemic and I think social media did it, because in the pandemic everybody became hermits. Everybody stayed inside. You only had social media to look at. So social media became your fantasy. It became your world. And on social media, we have access to things that we've never had access to. We can see the really dark side of social media. We can see the fantasy of social media. We can do all these different things that we never had access to, or we never wanted to have access to. So now when you take in anything at a high level on a consistent basis, you become it and your world becomes it. So these people take in social media and what social media tells you a woman should look like or a man should look like. Everybody should be having 6 packs and be dark and fine, or light and handsome, or tall, or big butts and little, all these different things. And that's what social media says. So we get out there in the real world and we don't look like that. A lot of women don't look like that. It's a very small population that has those ant bodies. So the rest of them have, real butts and real boobs and real whatever. Okay, fine. But A lot of people, not just guys but girls too, are like, no, I don't want that person. That person is not good enough, because in their mind, subconsciously, social media says you're supposed to have X, Y, and Z. So we don't see X, Y, and Z in the real world. So we're like, oh, it's catfish. Oh, they not who they say they are, and da 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 da. Now there is some of that, of course, but for the most part, our expectations are unrealistic. These are the same bodies and hair and noses and faces and all that stuff that was in style 10 years ago. And now all of a sudden social media told you that they're not good enough. People are changing their noses and surgeries and all these different things. So we say, yeah, what you have naturally is not good enough. And it's expectations. So I think that's why people ghost other people, is time. They don't have time to cultivate relationships like they once had and so forth, because it takes a lot of time, energy, vetting, a lot of what's your name, who were you, how many baby mamas you got, what's your kid's name, are they good, are they bad, it takes a lot of that. And expectations. If I'm expecting you to be a porn star and you are Jiminy Cricket, then I'm disappointed, Or if I'm expecting you to be fine, luscious, and beautiful, or whatever, because social media told me that, and you come in person and you like to throw under the bridge, then, you know what I'm saying? So our expectations are warped and twisted. Now you're going to say, Monica, everybody don't meet. I get ghosted before we even meet, like I did. Okay, fine. And it still holds true. People's expectations and time gets in the way. Everybody wants what they want. Meaning, if they get into something because they want to have a good time in the bedroom, and if you don't start headed that way, as far as conversationally, in the beginning, they'll ghost you. If their expectation is for you to be all fly, fancy, and sexy, and one of them TV models or whatever have you, and y'all get on FaceTime and you don't look even half as close or even a quarter close, because some people's expectations are real high, then they ghost you. If y'all having good conversation and whatever have you, and that person decides today that Susie over here is starting to act right, or their relationship, is back on again, or she's done being mad at her husband, or things like that, then that's why they ghost you, because they got something else over there. They got something else. Because why take the time to, how you doing, my name is da 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 da, just to ghost somebody? It's time, expectations, but on the sidebar is a lot of times people have somebody over there, and that over there person is not acting right, or that over there person didn't make it official yet, or that over there person is something. So when that over there person start to act right and do right, then that person ghosts you and be like, all right, well, peace out, and now they disappeared like Casper, because they got somebody already a lot of times. But yeah. Time, expectations, that's the scientific answer. And the ghetto answer is they got somebody over there waiting.